Hi, today we're going to talk about foam cushions as featured on the website Cushions Express. And remember, Express is without the E, it's just Cushions Express. First thing we want to talk about is how can we measure the foam cushion that you have at home. Keep in mind the foam cushion you have at home is probably sagging, it's probably a little bit bent out of shape. That's probably why you want to change it. Best thing you can do for that is to measure the cover. The cover was cut to the original size of the wood that was needed to cover your cushion, your furniture. So that's gonna be what we go by. You don't need to add or subtract anything if you measure your cover. Take a tape measure, preferably a fabric tape measure. This is a metal one, but preferably a fabric one, and get it to go across the length of the fabric, seam to seam, with the fabric well stretched out, taut. That's length, width, and height. Okay, get it to go seam to seam with the fabric stretched tight. Keep in mind if you have welting such as you have over here, this is welting over here. This edge, this piping is called welting. You put the tape measure at the part where the welting starts at the bottom, where the seam actually takes place, where the sewing actually takes place. So you go across, and if you can't stretch it out by yourself, get somebody to stretch it out for you, but stretch out that cover well. That's about it for a rectangular seat cushion as far as measuring it. As far as the next thing we want to discuss is Dacron. This is an option on our website. This is Dacron. It's about 3/4 of an inch thick. It's very, very soft. It's actually polyester fiber. It's made into a batting. This is the batting. Very loose, very flexible. It's not firm at all. The reason we use Dacron cushions is to take up the slack in between the cover and the foam itself. That's the primary reason. Also gives it a little soft touch when you first put your hand on it, but that really doesn't provide much support at all. It also rounds off the edges quite a bit. Gives you a little bit of crowning on the top, gives you a little crowning on the front, a little crowning on the side. It just makes everything tight and taut. It's like a fudge factor in between the foam and the cover. It works out very well because let's assume your cover's an eighth of an inch off from the measurement, or your foam's slightly short or whatever. The Dacron wrap takes up all the slack in between the foam and the cover. Keep in mind, once you establish the measurement for your cushion, if you're going to add the Dacron wrap, you don't need to take away, or you don't need to add anything to the measurement itself. A lot of people ask me, well, if I add the Dacron wrap, I have to take away from the foam. You really don't. The idea is to add the Dacron wrap so that it gives you a stretch factor, so it makes everything tight and taut. If you take away a lot from the foam, when you a 1/4 inch wouldn't be the end of the world, but I wouldn't take away anything, to be honest with you. Once you establish the height and length and width of the cover, I would set that as I mentioned on the website. Add the Dacron, and the Dacron will then push everything out. That's the idea behind the Dacron. Here, this is an example of this cushion right here with the Dacron wrap, and the Dacron comes glued onto the foam. And again, this one has the Dacron all the way around. You can get it either all the way around or just around. All the way around covers all the sides, top, bottom, and all 6 sides of the cushion. Okay? It's white, fuzzy, and gives, like I said, it gives you that little fudge factor in between the cover and the foam. All right? Now, here's one where it has it just around. Just around basically covers the top, the front, and the bottom. Okay? It comes just around. It covers 3 sides. So these 2 sides right here, this side and this side, have no Dacron on it. And the back has no Dacron on it. You can see the back is without Dacron. You have the Dacron here. It's glued on. Okay? So this is the kind of look I wanted to show you that would give the Dacron would give the cushion. Let me close it up. Again, all our covers come with zipper, and usually they're put in the back as to hide them. This is the kind of look that this Dacron gives the cushion. Makes the top bulge out slightly. It's called a crown. Makes the front bulge out slightly, and the bottom bulge out slightly. So it is reversible. Now, the sides don't bulge out very much at all. As a matter of fact, there's a little slack over here because there is no Dacron. I don't mind that so much because usually the sides have another piece of cushion against it or the side of the furniture against it. So that's why the just around, which is the top, the bottom, and the front, it really does the job in most cases. Because the sides themselves, they're going to be covered. They're going to be covered by the next cushion or by the side of the furniture most of the time. If it's not, then you really should use the Dacron all the way around. Okay? Now, getting back to the other topic I want to discuss was the welting. Welting is strictly for the cover. It's this edge right here, this cord edge right here. It's called piping, welting, cord edge. And basically, it's just to give something a nicer look, a more finished look, a different kind of look. This one has no welting. It's a nice modern look, smooth. It's a matter of personal preference. But just to clarify the term so you know what we're talking about. It's strictly for the cover, so don't order the foam with welting. Makes no sense. It's a cord edge on the cover. Next, we're going to discuss the foams and the firmnesses, so you can actually pick out a foam for your cushion.